Let's get on to our next guest, and it is ASX-listed battery technology group LIS Energy. Well, it's appointed 2 senior technicians ahead of the commissioning of its $10 million 2 megawatt per hour facility under construction in Geelong. Let's get the latest from LIS Energy CEO, Dr. Lee Finniear. He joins me now. Hey, Lee, welcome to the program. Thank you so much. So you're really, the rubber's hitting the road, it sounds like, so to speak.
It certainly is. It's a very exciting time for us because we're finally commissioning our 2 megawatt hour production facility that's using mass production techniques to be able to produce our batteries at a greater scale than we have in the past. So yeah, it's really, really exciting at the moment.
Okay, and so just tell us again, I know we've spoken in the past, but for those watching, what it is that's special about this technology.
Okay, so we've developed a battery using a different chemistry from lithium ion. It's called lithium sulfur. We replaced the graphite in a lithium ion battery with pure lithium metal, and the anode with the cathode with sulfur. The result is that we get a battery that's twice as energy dense. In other words, half the weight of lithium ion, and that's critically important for electric aviation, for drones, for defense, any situation where the device has to carry the weight of the battery. And for commercial aircraft, for example, at the moment, electric aircraft, the battery weighs as much as the rest of the aircraft. So it really impacts payload and range. So what we can do is to dramatically, well, basically half the weight of the battery to massively increase the payload and increase the range of those kinds of devices.
So give us a commercial update. So what kind of partnerships have you been able to get, under your belts? What ones are still in progress? Like, what's the interest been like?
The interest has been really good. I spent quite a bit of time at the Paris Air Show in July. What really excited me was the number of companies that are out there developing electric aircraft at this point in time. We spoke to dozens of companies with brand new electric aircraft that they plan to bring in production over the next few years, and all of them have got the same problem. Their batteries are too heavy. So from that point of view, we've already announced partnerships with the likes of Magnix Aero. They're working on a big NASA project, a $74 million NASA project to electrify a Dash 7 commercial aircraft. We have a recent announcement with VTOL Aerospace in Australia to develop a high altitude drone that will fly for weeks at a time. We have other relationships with the likes of Boeing and also Janus Electric as well. But I recently did the AGM. We put a map. We've got 68 pins on that map, which are agreements, NDAs, or other things, so that the interest is profound. It's really huge at the moment.
Okay, and then you've got this plant that in Geelong, so production facility. Is that on track to be completed as expected? When is it firing up, essentially?
Well, we've already built the largest dry room in Australia to house the main manufacturing facility. We've constructed all the other equipment. The engineers are currently commissioning that equipment for manufacturing right now. We have the most advanced battery testing facility in Australia just been commissioned as well. So we're bringing that online early next calendar year. It will be able to produce thousands of batteries a week, and those batteries are going into advanced testing. They're going into test and trial batteries for our partners, and also proving up the manufacturability at scale using automated manufacturing techniques. And that's really important as we go beyond phase 3 towards scaling up to full commercial production over the coming years.
Are you getting government support? Do you need government support? Is it forthcoming if you have been asking for it?
We've been very lucky to be a part of what we call the Trailblazer program with Deakin University. They provided us some government support towards building our phase 3 facility and some of the R&D we've been doing. Moving up to the next phase of our commercial production, that's going to be a fairly expensive exercise. We really want to do it in Australia, and that's something where government support, we're currently talking to federal and state government at the moment. We're very much hoping that we're able to do that and get the kind of support we need to be what is really a leading global player in Australia in the battery industry.
Okay. So do you anticipate you'll have to partner to take things past, the phase 3? Do you need do you need international partners to really ramp up production to hopefully meet the demand that you anticipate will be coming?
Oh, what we've done is we developed a two-pronged strategy. We're developing a strategy where we build up to a 200 megawatt hour, what we call our phase 4 facility, without necessarily needing a partner. But once we get to the gigafactory scale, which is what we call phase 5, we do believe that we will need to partner with existing gigafactory manufacturers. The beauty of our technology is that unlike a lot of solid state battery tech, which is out there, we can use almost exclusively existing lithium ion manufacturing equipment. So we don't have to redevelop the entire manufacturing process, and we can potentially repurpose an existing gigafactory line to be able to manufacture our batteries. So that's a critically important difference, and what we're bringing to the table, one of the many things we bring that's different to some of the other advanced batteries that are being worked on in the labs out there in the world.
I also can't help but notice you're quite well funded. I think you've got about $33 million. Well, at least at the end of June. I'm sure you've spent some of that now that you've hired some, your engineers, et cetera. Well, I don't think they come cheap. But I mean, what are you planning to do with all that?
Well, I have to say that we brought in our 2 megawatt hour production facility on time and ahead of budget. We were quite careful. We're always careful on how we spend our funds. It's not our money. It belongs to our shareholders. They've given it to us to make value out of it. So that $30 million is there. It isn't needed for our phase 3, but it's there to fund that process of building up that capability, of doing provisional designs, for example, on phase 4, and making sure that we drive the commercial success of the business just as much as we're driving the technical success.
Oh, well, all right. Thank you so much for getting us across what you're doing there. We will be watching with much interest.
Thank you very much, Nadine. I appreciate
care.
being on here.